Yeah, let's go.
It's close, did you say? Is it really close?
Well, it's let's just say baby steps before larger steps before giant steps.
Of course. Of course.
And at the end of the day, it's just about surviving and thriving and continuing on this journey of the YouTube journey, Trent. And without you and Johnny and a few other really important people, I wouldn't be able to do this. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us. We're very happy to be back. This is week 15 of all basketball from the Hoop Junkies, Pauly and Rowley, which is our second iteration of the Canadian Bro Show podcast. First iterations, I just finished, and it just uploaded today, actually, so you can check that out. Episode 62 on part 2 of Jonathan J. Brown's interview that we did last week on our health series, which will be number 7 in our health series about the art and evolution of health. And that is the second part to Jonathan's, what should we do? And, Johnny and I and Trent and Jonathan, we're all in our 60s, or Trent's a little bit younger, but approaching. And so being all athletes and people that are active, we all are feeling the same thing, and that is, how do you take care of the vessel, the spirit, the mind, the body, and soul? And this is one way to do it. And please watch the show, and if you like it, subscribe. And in the meantime, Trent, the handsome gentleman to my shoulder, my left shoulder, and your right visual is Mr. Trent Rowley from St. Paul's, Alberta. Trent, welcome back. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. We had some tech issues, and we figured it out. So I'm really happy we got that sorted. This is our new episode. We do this weekly on all Hoop Junkies from the. It's basically all basketball from the Hoop Junkies, Pauly and Rowley, and we've got guests and stuff. But we talk about NBA fantasy basketball. We talk about WNBA. We talk about NBA. We talk about FIBA in Europe. We talk about NCAA Division 1 in college. We talk about NCAA Division 2 in Canada. We talk about Canadian hoops, Canadian players. It's all basketball from, the Hoop Junkies, Pauly and Rowley. And this is episode 43, season 2, week 15. Trent, what do you got for us to start? What's going on? Is it still snowing in St. Paul right now?
No, it stopped. I shoveled this morning. It's gone for now.
Right. So how far is your pile at the front of your shovel area?
It's it's close to 6 feet tall. It's about 5.5 feet probably.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a
Nice.
wonderful berm. It's awesome. Super fun. Good exercise.
Well, I mean, you could tell you've lost some weight. And I just wanted to the episode because we had some scheduling episodes. I've got a new episode before we start, Trent, and I've been talking to you about it, and I mentioned it a couple of times, and it's a new series that I'm actually filming after this show later today because it was extended and we've had technical issues. But this is actually going to be episode 45. And our last episode was 43, which is kind of cool. And I put it on I got it right on there, but on the opening, I completely forgot that that I've got to film my new series, which is How to Be a Professional Basketball Player. If you have ever wanted to play or had a dream to play professional basketball, there is hope. There is a way. And our new series, premiere series, is going to be up in the next few days, is going to be episode 44 of All Basketball from the Hoop Junkies. I'm interviewing my old teammate and fellow Canadian, Justin Jones. And he is a legend in Alberta. I'm not sure if Trent would have heard his name, but he is a little bit older. And we're going to go through his story, his experience, and how he became a professional basketball player. And then we're going to talk about how I became a basketball player. It's going to be a different episode at a later time, interviewed by another player that I played with. But this one is about Justin Jones. And it's really about our journey, how a couple of Canadian dudes actually ended up in the same time at the same. I mean, honest to God, our story is so similar and parallel. It's ridiculous. It's there's no such thing as coincidence. And here we are, 35 years later, and we're finally doing episode 44 of How to Be a Professional Basketball Player with the host, myself, Paul Bale, and Justin Jones. So I'm very excited, and I just wanted to share that with you because this is going to be a really popular and fun series, and we're going to bring Trent in at a later time to bring as a co-host of the most once the series starts to grow. But in the meantime, Trent, you usually we start the show with WNBA. We like to talk about female hoops because WNBA is really growing. Not really much going on right now, I take it, eh?
No, they are. Who knows what they're doing? I mean, I'd rather even. I don't even want to give them any airtime the way they're operating right now.
No, I just want to let people know that there's a lot of ladies out there, young ladies, young men, older men, people that don't realize there's an actual professional league, not just in the WNBA, but in the FIBA, the Federation of International Basketball, is the largest governed body of basketball in the world, and the female, it's the largest league in the world. And it's competing with FIBA as well as many other things on many different levels, and it's just fascinating. But we're going to move forward. Trent also watches, and he watches all sports, but in terms of being Hoop Junkies, Trent has an opportunity to watch more NCAA Division I college basketball than I do. One is I don't have cable. Two, time constraints. But Trent, you've been talking about some pretty impressive players and games that you've seen recently. Anything that just caught your attention you want to share?
Well, watching I believe it was Illinois and Purdue the other day. This, I don't know if it's Kendrick, but Wagler's his last name.
Yeah.
He went off. He had 40. He ended up with 45 of their. It was like 87 points they scored.
What? I saw the highlights of that.
And it was everywhere, not just threes. He was 6 for 8 from the three. And he just get into the lane and a turnaround jump shot and really long. And he's a freshman. I hope he's
European though, right?
No, I don't believe so.
No?
Mulatto kid. No, I don't think so.
No, just because you're mulatto doesn't mean you can't be European, right?
Well, I didn't say that.
No, I mean I'm just explaining that.
He's from Kansas.
There we go. Just because you're from Kansas doesn't mean you don't have European roots. But anyways, a kid, I watched highlights and it's like, my God, man. What do you think? He's going to be drafted in the second round next NBA?
Again, as we talk about these players and being developed, this is a perfect example of stay in school for a couple of years, get stronger, learn how to, but it's just,
why would they with the NIL and all of
the NIL? I mean,
well, of course you can make more money, but not unless you're going to make more money going to the NBA or Europe.
Yeah, well, these guys like football. The quarterback from the Oregon Ducks was going to get drafted by the Jets, who I root for, unfortunately. But they're terrible. And he's like, why would I go into the NFL when my NIL is going to pay me more than my rookie contract in the NFL? And that's what's happening, right? Yeah. So I hope he stays in school. I probably won't, because the idea of fame and fortune, that's what everybody's after, I guess. So
I think more fortune, fame is if they're lucky.
But it's the Big Ten itself. As a Michigan State fan, I believe in the top 12, 6 teams are in the Big Ten. It's crazy physical. Like, I love college. It's more physical than NBA college. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They let them play a little bit more. Arizona's 20-0, I believe. I mean, they just won a nail biter here the other day against BYU.
Who's the kid on Arizona that everybody's talking about? He's spearheading. He's on Arizona. I forgot the guy's name, but I didn't know they were 20-0 because I don't really follow NCAA. I don't have time. And I've heard there's some talented kid on that team that is. Everyone's been talking about him before the season started, and of course they're talking about him more now. And I think I think he's kind of famous. I think he might be from. His dad might be. An ex-NBA player, his mom or something. I don't know.
I think he's redshirted.
Oh, before?
Yeah, I don't even think he's playing games.
Well, who's the lead guy in Arizona then? Who's spearheading this 20-0 record, bro?
Well, the one guard scored 16 a game, Braden Burries.
Oh, so they're a true team where there's probably 5-6 players.
Yeah, like if I look at their thing, you have 5 players. I'm thinking their starters are all double digits, 10 to 15 points, and then they've got a couple of guys at 8 and 4, and that kind of thing. And
they play good defense, I guess.
One team I haven't got to watch, obviously. I got to catch a little bit at the end of the last game. I get more UConn games, so they're 19-1. They played typical UConn basketball. So Hurley is just a maniac. I'm still amazed he didn't take the money that the Lakers offered or the Knicks offered.
Yeah. No, that's not his fiber. Look at his dad. Look at his brother. Look where they came from. St. Vincent's in New York. These guys are just, they're old school.
Well,
and there's
control, right?
What's that?
You have control. You don't have control of players that make more money than you. It's not like
that's true. Control is a huge thing, and they don't care about money. It's about control. It's about they can run their program the way they want to run it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The players that are playing for them, they chose, not the GM of a team necessarily, right?
Good point.
So, it's just control of your lineup, everything, right? Duke, who you root for, is a fourth-ranked team. They spanked Louisville the other night. But it was just that game just caught me off guard because I just turned it on, and all of a sudden this kid is just going off, and I'm like, well, I got to watch this now.
Yeah.
I got to see where this is going to go. And at one time, he had like 24 of their 34 points at the start of the game. Like it was just bonkers. He was just going off.
I'm gonna have to watch the full recap of that because I love watching kids go.
Oh, that's fun to watch, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's even funner to do it yourself, but if you can't, it
was fun to watch. So
yeah. And so that's the only guy that really stands out, eh?
Well, I mean, everybody seems to have a kind of a team. From what I've seen so far, like Duke's a team. Michigan's kind of all around.
Yeah.
Michigan State's an all around team. They usually always are.
Yeah.
Nebraska has a big that's a nice player. I mean, there's a couple of guys that
football program
stand out just to stand out to you, right? Again, I'm only honestly watching the games that I kind of want to watch.
Of course.
Like if MSU is on, Michigan State's on, I usually watch those games. Now there's some collateral damage that there might be a San Diego State game on a Saturday night. Well, I'm probably not watching it, right? So, to ask me who's really stud right now, I couldn't really tell you.
We'll take a deeper dive when we have a slow week. And it's a little bit better that's what's happening. We just wanted to fill the gap with no WNBA, and we haven't mentioned too much about NCAA Division 1 or 2. 2 is like a local Canadian team that I'm a alumni in, that Summer Fraser University, and they're in NCAA Division 2, and I'd like to do an interview with their new head coach, Barnaby Craddock. But Trent, anything else you'd like to talk about? Maybe NCAA Division 1, one female player that just blew your mind?
How about we talk about fantasy basketball, where I'm just like ripping it up right now?
Oh yeah, well Trent and I we go into it. So this episode is about the 2025 and 26 NBA hoops. We are in episode 43, which is really technically, as I said, made a mistake in the beginning of the show. It's 45 because of an episode, our very first episode I'm filming later tonight on how to be a professional basketball player with Justin Jones. That'll be episode 44. So this is episode 45, week 15, our second season, all basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley. And we like to focus on and start off with NBA Yahoo Fantasy Basketball. And then we get into, we get into the NBA schedule. We get into a waiver wired connected. And then we get into freestyling, NBA insights, trades, injuries, perhaps a little FIBA, a little Canadian hoops, but more importantly, the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference going into the NBA All-Star Game is coming up next week, and the NBA trade deadline is coming up this week. So it's going to be a very, very busy next week, and we're basically halfway through the season, pretty much, almost. It's amazing how fast it's gone through. And Trent, I'm just going to go into and talk about the schedule, as I like to, before we get into Waiver Wire Connected, because
everybody plays 4 games except a few teams. It seems
just one team. Chicago's the only team again this week that plays 5 games. So take that as you will. There's a couple players I'll mention later that you can, but the vast majority of the teams play 4 games, which is great. And I mentioned in the last episode that we're starting getting a little bit of normality briefly before the NBA break, in that we're getting 7 games, 8 games a night, as opposed to 12 or 13 one night and 9 the next, and then 2 games, and then 6 games, and then 2 more games. It's just now you're starting to see a little bit normality, and that is consistency, and it allows you an opportunity as a fantasy general manager, to be able to, in our, Trent and I are in 2 different leagues, and they're 10-team leagues that we drafted. Trent's just killing him in both. In one, he's in first place. I'm in second in that league, and Trent's team is just going off. He's just been surgical on who he's picking up. He's had a lot of good luck, and he's picked up a lot of players that I wouldn't pick up, and I understand why I picked them up, and he's doing brilliant, and I hope he wins the championship this year, and I hope he beats me in the finals, and at least I get a second place and a silver cup and a trophy, and we both can say we're 1 and 2 at the Canadian Bro Show, because that's how we operate. We're Hoop Junkies, and this is Pauly, and he's Rowley. And Dan Bruno, who I follow once in a while on rotorwild.com, and when I do this, I write most of this myself, but I like to take the juice from the guys that are really getting paid professionally and doing it, and maybe Trent and I will be there at some point in the near future. But schedule awareness is one of the easiest ways to gain a weekly edge in fantasy basketball, obviously. We play 9-category Yahoo NBA Fantasy. We play against one team for an entire week. And it's all of the 9 different categories that you can accumulate against the player that you're playing against, and that's how you move on in a positive light and get into the playoffs, which are going to be happening in sooner than later. By understanding where the volume and matchups line up, managers can really make the smarter lineup calls and plan effectively as much as you can with all the injuries and coaching decisions and just all the crap that you got to deal with, and streaming strategies, which is what I'm talking about, and try to squeeze extra value out of the waiver wire, which Trent and I do really well. Hence, Trent started in NBA Fantasy Yahoo Hoops in bronze. Welcome to Platinum, Trent. And so this is what happens when you're doing the show at the Canadian Bro Show with all Hoop Junkies, Pauly and Rowley, is you listen to each other's advice, and every once in a while you can pick someone off the other person's roster. Trent has been absolutely atrocious at depleting my roster at players that I dropped that I don't really want to drop, but I had no choice. He'll just scoop it up and put them on their injury reserve roster like Kelal Ware. Just drives me nuts. I was so upset, man. But at the end of the day, highlighting teams with heavy workloads, you love it, and noting the absence of true light days, which are very infrequent this year for some reason, and identifying squads to set up the benefit and most favorable opponents. This is 7 days a week for me, 365, 24/7, because I'm a hardcore hoop junkie. I take this very seriously. I've been in platinum for the better part of 22 years, supposedly the top 1% of the Yahoo NBA Fantasy 9-category leagues that we're playing. And at the end of the day, if you don't know how to schedule your teams, regardless of how many teams you have, I have 8, Trent has 2, but he has 5 football fantasy teams too. And who else? Who knows what else he has? But at the end of the day, teams basically at this part of the season, there's only one team that plays 5 games, and that's Chicago. And then the vast majority, 2/3 of the NBA, there's 30 teams in the NBA, play 4 games, and there's a few teams that play 3 games. 3 games is, it depends on the quality of those, the 3 teams that you have and the players that you have. Sometimes if they're just rock stars like Cade Cunningham or, Maxey or Curry, you need those 3 days because they can just go off and have a prolific, and if you look at their stats. But at the end of the day, drafting is about the teams that have the most active players that are not injured, and then you look at your weekly team that you're playing against and try to adjust weekly. And so the Hawks have 4 games, the Nets 4 games, Celtics, Hornets, Bulls have 5 games, Cavaliers, Nuggets, Pistons, Rockets, Lakers, Grizzly, Heat, Minnesota, Knicks, Magic, Sixers, Suns, Trailblazers, Kings, Jazz, Wizards. Vast majority, as I said, over 2/3. Teams with fewer than 3 games. Essentially, there is just a couple. And it doesn't really matter. Just focus on the schedule every week. Focus on who you're playing against. Look at the weaknesses from the previous week, and it gives you an opportunity to do what Trent's done, where he was virtually in the last couple of positions as a bronze going into silver, and now he's in first place, destroying everybody in one of our leagues with his very astute waiver wire connected. And congratulations on that. We'll see where that takes you. At the end of the day, Trent, you ready for waiver wire connected?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So my first guy I got to talk about, we brought it up last week because there's going to be trades and there's going to be players that have just been injured all year and teams who just give up on them. And Toronto Raptors, because it's the only Canadian team in the NBA, and of course the only Canadian team as of the start of the WNBA in May, which will be the Toronto Tempo. Congratulations on the Tempo. And a second Canadian professional basketball league in North America. It's about time, and hopefully Vancouver's coming up soon, and maybe Montreal.
Real quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think I sent it to you, but I'm just going to look here real quick. Yes, have it sitting here. Home and away schedule for our girl Caitlin. She plays in Toronto on August,
if she's healthy.
August 18th. So Trent is booking a trip to Toronto to.
You already told us about that.
Let's hope
you and your wife, right?
Yep.
August 18th, you said?
August 18th.
Isn't that funny? I'll probably be in Vancouver. Yeah,
go on. Sorry.
Anyways, enjoy. And I hope she's healthy because I only got to see her place twice last season, and it was an absolute gong show. I've never seen anything like it. I was so disappointed. Everybody, expectations, lower it right across the line in everything in life, and you'll just be better. Just stay in the moment. Don't have expectations. Dream big. Manifest. Don't have expectations. You'll be very disappointed. The first one I want to talk about is probably one of the most interesting European bigs I've seen in a long time, and I followed him before San Antonio picked him up. And then they unloaded him because they felt that his contract, they had to pay him. And they needed to free up contracts, so they did a smooth move and dropped him, or actually traded him. And they traded him to the Raptors, and that is, and forgive me on the enunciation, but he's got a... Yeah, Sandro Mamukashvili, however you want to say it. When I'm not trying to read it, I say it much better. He's 6'11". He is 240, and he is a forward center, and he's rostered at 28%. That's amazing. He's never been rostered more than 3 or 4% in his entire career. He's been in the NBA about 6-7 years. And Jacob Podol, the big Austrian chap, his days are numbered in Toronto. His back is too much of a liability, and he's costing too much money, and nobody's making money on his money that they're paying him.
They just gave him that contract this year too. Right,
exactly. And he's a 7-footer, and he's 260, and he's a really good big man, but he's had back issues his entire life. So either he's got to work on his core or lose weight or get a different trainer or a different agent. If you want to sustain and maintain and retain, you got to take care of the vessel, bro. And you're not doing it. His days are numbered in Toronto, and he's not the only one. He cannot shake that lingering back injury. Until the Raptors make a move, Mamu is the guy you want to roster in all other leagues. He's been playing 33 minutes a game over the last 3 games because their rookie, undersized rookie at 6'7", with long arms, is always injured, and injured again. And Mamu came up, and Darko is a European coach. And the difference between NBA coaches that are not European coaches from FIBA is the European coaches, they have an affinity of being able to be a coach's best friend.
Right.
Players coach.
Yep.
They know how to talk to the players. They know how to treat them. The American coaches here, they don't. They just don't bother because it's all attitude and what's going off the court and tattoos and whatever. Mamu, you don't have to worry about, and the coach loves him. Darko's done a great job with Toronto, and they are my dark horse on the dark horse in the East Coast for a surprise run.
I just dumped them, but
so did I on one team, but I picked him up on another because you have to look at the schedule. They got 4 games, and because I think Jacob's going to be traded, And the stiff that they drafted, he's not a stiff. I mean, anytime you make the NBA, you're good. But Mamu is averaging in the games that he's been playing significant minutes, as I mentioned, 30-plus minutes, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and a stock a game, and that's a block and steal. And he drops dimes. He's unselfish. He's big, and I love him. And there's an outside chance that somebody could drop him. Because they think Podol's coming back, and they've been waiting for him to come back for the better part of 40 games this year because he didn't show up. So I would take a hard look at him. Another big I'd take a hard look at. And you want to say anything on Mamu? You dropped him because of what?
I dropped him. Well, the team that I had him on, that I'm in first with.
Right. Is that the Giddy one?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I had in my lineup that.
You probably picked up Kalal Ware to put him in the injury reserve to drop him so you could steal Kalal from me.
I had somebody else come.
That's the way you do it. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think I ended up with some people.
See, you can't even remember. As a general manager, you can't even remember what you did.
Yeah, he just needed to go. It was time for him to leave.
Well, I might have to pick him up from you to get you back on stealing Kalal Ware.
Yeah, I mean, he had to go. That's just the way it works.
Fair enough. So sometimes they have to go. Sometimes they don't know, and sometimes you don't know. At the end of the day, with injuries and the excuses and how, let's face it, in 2026, NBA players are as soft as butter. They're spoiled rotten. They have no idea what the 80s and 90s were like. Real basketball. And at the end of the day, we can't bitch and moan about it. We got to move on. Next guy you got to pick up, and it's next man up.
I picked up Kelly Oubre and dropped Masho because...
Well, that's a smart move.
Him, so.
Yeah, there we go. I knew it had to be someone worthwhile, and I picked Kelly up on 2 of my teams because Kelly's getting 35 minutes a game. Coach Nurse loves him, Nick Nurse, and he's actually discovered, as I mentioned in the last episode, his two-way capabilities because he wants to get paid like everybody else. And Kelly is active, and he's hungry, and he's getting the minutes. So I agree with that pickup. That was a smart one.
So I did. So both my teams, I picked Oubre up on both my teams.
Yeah.
Mashavili was one that I got rid of on one, and Najee Marshall was the other.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about him last episode.
I like Najee Marshall, but Oubre's playing a lot of minutes. Just a better player right now.
Najee is going to be in the later part of my thing because of a different thing. PJ Washington in the center situation in Dallas is a problem, and Cooper. Anyways, we'll get into that. So I appreciate that, Trent. The next one, Jalen Smith, forward center. No one talks about him. Their centers are in trouble. There's talking about a trade. And Vooch might be gone, and this kid is legit 6'11". He's always injured. He's soft. He's got hamstring injuries. He's got core injuries. He's got back injuries. I don't trust him, but he is gifted. And he's only 25% rostered, and they're playing 5 games this week. So I had to pick him up in the center position because if you play fantasy basketball in the NBA, in Yahoo, in the 9 categories, the center position is without a doubt the hardest position. Were you getting a Herb drop off? You got to go out and pay the guy?
No, we're good.
All right, cool. Running this back because fantasy managers picked him up in just 2% of leagues, which is why I said what I said to open. Not on any, but he's available, and because I got 5 games and I need centers, I'm picking him up. And him and Ao DeSumo, I'll get into that later, who we both are not really, we don't really believe in him, but chances to get Smith in the front court or utility spot, better than nothing. Though he's only scored 34 fantasy points in week 14, we're talking about the whole week. He's one of the best deadline stashes at fantasy basketball, and he has a 50-point fantasy outing in week 13 and should be rostered depending on your... And I had to myself. I'm not a big fan, but when you don't have a choice and you need to fill a roster spot, you got to take the best, and you got to look at the schedule. Yeah, exactly. We've talked about it so many times. So are you're familiar with the chap, right?
Yeah, man.
He wears goggles. Seems like a nice kid.
Oh, yeah.
Next guy, I think you might be more interested in, although I gave up on a long time ago, but because of Golden State situation, Brandon Podensky is just combo guard, 39%. I know they're going to trade him. They're going to trade. They're going to trade. They're going to add him to Kaminga to get some more juice.
That's what I think of Brandon.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to talk about him because I just rather talk about the next guy. But Brandon, he's 6'4", 6'5". He plays combo guard, and they're depleted. The injury is coming up. Jimmy went down with an ACL. I hope he's going to be okay. Kaminga went down. What's that?
I thought he was like 6'8".
Who? Brzezinski? No, he's 6'4.5", 6'5", max.
Really? I thought he was bigger than that.
No, it's because he's got that red fro, right? Anyways, I wouldn't pick him up. But if you're in desperate need of a guard, you need a filler or flyer for a couple of nights, depending on the schedule. He's got a pretty nice stroke. He's very inconsistent. The next guy I would pick up, and I did pick up on 3 teams. I can't believe he's available. I missed out on. I would have picked him up on 5 teams. He was my first pickup because I need assists. People don't realize in fantasy basketball, if you don't have assists, you can't win leagues. It's like threes. There's certain categories that if you don't win, you're in serious trouble because you can't make them up. It's like blocks with centers. You know, is a guard going to get blocks? Well, I can name a 3 guards. I can name the best shot blocking guard in the NBA right now. Mattis Bucelis. But he's 6'10", and he's a small forward shooting guard. Yeah. And Trent, when I dropped him because I had injury stuff, Trent picked him up. So that's the 3rd player that he's picked up. I
actually drafted him.
Oh, that's right. That's right. True. I just wanted to give you a hard time. Cam Spencer, the Spencer twins. I've talked about this guy many times. He's a backup guard for the Grizzlies. His agent went, look, if you want to make money in the NBA, go to a team where there's a perennial point guard, an all-star that's always injured, and a clown show, and you're going to get paid. And he went, oh, okay. Where? Memphis. Dude went off again last night, 13 dimes. He's only rostered 26%. When I heard, look, Jean Morant, very talented dude. For those that don't know who Jean Morant is.
Whatever.
That's Jean Morant. At least that's what this thing
and
is.
He's built like that, so if Paul dropped him, he'd probably break his arm or something.
His whole body would snap in half at the core. I could pull it off. Because he has no core. He has no calves, no thighs, no ass, no core. And he's... Oh, I hope they trade him. In the meantime, Cameron, being the leading scorer and assist maker of NCAA Division I lacrosse in the history of lacrosse, another sport that Canada invented, by the way, if you don't mind me saying that, went off for 13 assists last night. And but until Ty Jerome, who's also been injured, who's a really nice scoring combo guard out of Cleveland, they gave up on him. I don't know why, because he had a great year last year. He's not ready to return. Spencer will be the primary facilitator for the Grizz. He scored 51 fantasy points, Trent, in his last game at 24, 5, and 11 against the Pelicans. I think this kid, if he was a starting point guard, I don't think he is a starting point guard, but if he was on not a championship team, maybe I'm wrong, he is 15, 10, 5, and 4. With good shooting percentages. I love him. I think he's incredible. I scooped him. I picked him up. And until he doesn't get injured as well. And he's a gamer. And he's passionate. You see him. He's fiery. He's so competitive. Next guy, you want to share? Have you seen the guy play?
Yeah. No, he plays hard.
He's better than his brother. For sure. And he's good too. And he's not getting any run in the Warriors. Next guy I want to talk about is the Washington Wizards. I like to talk about them because they're so bad, but they're the youngest team in the NBA. Do you know what their average year for the Washington? They're under 21 years old, their entire roster, not including the veterans who they're trying to unload anyways. Think about that. What were you doing at 20 years old, 21 years old, right?
Yeah, I mean, not bad.
well, I know you don't want to tell me because I can just imagine. But Trey Johnson, the shooting guard, I brought him up a couple of times. And Kai Sean and George, who is the number one player in that team next to Alex Starr, their big center, who's had a great year. And they're getting rid of everyone. It's the youngest team, so let's just ride it through. And they've got a really, really good young team. And it's exciting. But I was surprised to see Johnson on the waivers. And this is by the chap I mentioned in the beginning in 12 team. We're at 10, so it's a little bit different. There's two different waiver wire positions. But anyways, the rookie performed in Week 14, finishing just under 100 in 9 cat leagues, which is our leagues. And in 3 games last week, he averaged 20 points, 5 assists, and 4 threes a game. He's a walking bucket. I'll just leave it at that. It's not going to be everybody's favorite cup of tea, but if you need somebody, you need threes, you need somebody that can put buckets, and this is the waiver wire connected. Think about players that you need. The next guy I'll talk about, I brought him up briefly, is really great story. Trent and I love to talk about stories. And this kid was undrafted and is only 11% rostered. His name's Dylan Cardwell. Have you seen him play?
Yep.
He's a very effervescent personality, Trent. Have you noticed?
Yes,
he's not shy at all.
No,
he's averaging 2.5 blocks a game in 11 minutes right now. And he just wants to get paid. Undrafted, never thought he'd be in the league. And here he is. I love him. I just love his energy. I love guys that are just like, let's go! They're running up and down the court. Because you look at the NBA, half the players look like they're still sleeping from their flight from the day before, and they're just going through the motions. It's nice to see vitality, youth, and people fighting for a place in the best league in the world, supposedly. The other thing is, the other guy I want to talk about really briefly, OKC has lost 5 or 6 games out of the last 12, which is the first time that's happened in 2 years. And it's only because their depth has been exposed. And the people that they're trying to fill in are also injured. And one guy I got to bring up really briefly, Aaron Wiggins, the younger brother of my favorite Wiggins, our Canadian, who is he's only 10% rostered. If that guy gets going and he gets 25 to 28 minutes, he'll give you everything across the board and good shooting percentages. So if you're desperate, think about shooting guard threes, fill out the stats. And then keep an eye out for, as I mentioned, PJ Washington, because he gets center, designation, power forward, and Gafford. And Najee Marshall. Trent and I mentioned that. While Cooper Flagg and Gafford have already played. Look, Gafford has had 8 ankle injuries in 40 games. 8.
He's stiff.
Dude, he wasn't last year or the year before.
Even with the minutes this year, his numbers are terrible.
What happened to the dude? Anyways, the other one, Flagg, went down with an ankle. Okay, so last year's, Trent and I used to joke about this. Last year's calf contusion injuries, we used to mock all the time. This year it's ankles. Now, you can't mock ankles. Calf contusions, come on, man. I've never had a calf contusion in 58 years of playing sports in my life.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what that is. But apparently in the NBA, it's a pandemic.
Yeah.
So anyways, the next thing to go into, trades and questions. A few players that you might want to be concerned about, Trent, really quick. Trae Young. These are players I'm worried about in fantasy basketball, and I happen to have Trae in 3 of my teams, and I'm really very upset about this bullshit that's going on. Playing this guy. He can play right now. But Washington's not playing, and they're sitting on the bench. He's got a $46 million contract they got to sign. They're going to trade his ass. I'm telling you right now. They're going to trade for somebody that is going to just drop everything in their lap. But in the meantime, I'm not happy about it. And I won't go into it. I don't want to waste any more time on the politics of the NBA. The next guy I want to talk about, teams that are going to just drop guys. Like Trae's one. Atlanta already did it, and they're better for it. The next one, Pascal Siakam. I know people will think, are you crazy? The guy's averaging 25 points a game, 7 rebounds,
Yep.
three dimes. He gives you everything, but the Pacers suck. They're terrible. and the Pacers are also stuck at 10 games that they've won in 40. So what's going to happen? Without Tyrese Halliburton, Siakam's putting up, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.2 steals. Over the last 10 games, he's giving fantasy managers a reason to sell high, bumping those numbers. Of course, especially after they realize what Indiana's going to do, and I think they're going to do it. The unfortunate news is that Siakam is 31 years old, and he's got a huge contract. He's getting paid huge bucks. And playing for a team that's firmly playing for lottery balls, Benedict Mathurin, another Canadian player I like, but frustrating to own, probably is going to get moved as well. And because they're going to move everyone, right? The Pacers lost Miles Turner. They want to get rid of him. Mathurin, Andrew Nembhard, and essentially that's it. I think they're just going to trade everyone, pack up, pack it in. It doesn't matter. I think that's going to happen. Be on the lookout for Pascal if you want that type of player. Is he going to put those same numbers for another team for 38 games the remainder of the season? Highly unlikely, unless it's just a crap team. Next guy I'm talking about, Michael Porter Jr. You know he's gone. He's a lame duck player, and he's had his greatest season, and there's a number of teams that want to get rid of him. As everyone calls him, MPJ morphed into a legitimate all-star. Well, I kind of said that, but he's averaging 26 points a game, 7.5 boards, 3 assists, and almost 4 stocks, and that's steals and blocks. Playing on an absolutely atrocious team. All career best. Brooklyn says it wants to keep him long term. Yeah, sure you do. Yeah. Come on, man. It's also near the basement. And Porter is one of the most sought after sharpshooters because people don't realize the kid's 6'10", and he shoots like Kevin Durant. So when you're shooting, players shoot like this. These guys at 6'10", 6'11" are shooting here. And, dude, you can't stop that, right? That's why he's getting off, because he's on the right team. He's on the worst team. And I think he's going to be gone. The next one, Zion Williamson. I'm just going to say his name and say that they're going to try to get... They're too late. They should have done this before, but they gave him an opportunity. And the Pelicans are terrible, and they've got Murray on there as well. And who knows? If they get rid of Zion, they're going to clean house as well. I think Zion, the last thing New Orleans wants to do is tanking.
They don't need to tank. They're terrible.
I mean, you don't need to tank if you're terrible. Exactly. No one talks about that. It's going to lose its top pick to Atlanta via the Derek Queen trade, which a lot of people thought was excessive. I happen to love Derek Queen, but it's not like Mikal Bridges where you give away 5 first-round draft picks. And the guy averages 16, 17 points a game. Right? Yeah, he hasn't had an injury since 1984 when he was 4 years old or whatever. But at the end of the day, that was one of the worst trades in the history of the NBA. Yeah. And I love my Knicks. But getting back down, also I just want to talk about at the end because it's the Raptors in Toronto. I think the Raptors are going to trade Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett and Jacob Poeltl. I just wanted to finish that off. I think it makes the most sense. They're replaceable, and they can get a lot of stuff for it. We'll see what happens. And that is waiver wire connected in the schedule. Thanks, Trent.
I would say lastly, the last guy that I could see maybe being moved will be Sabonis in Sacramento.
Yeah, what do you think, Toronto?
Him. And I don't know, but I could see him being gone too.
He's gone. He's gone, bro. He's gone.
But
I agree. He's gone, but you know what? Toronto wants him bad. You know why? Sabonis and Darko?
Yeah.
They're tight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I agree with you. I'd love to, and we talked about it privately and on the show, Trent.
Yeah, it'd be perfect in Toronto.
Oh, Sabonis, man.
They don't need and the thing is, they don't need a center. People are like, well, he doesn't block shots. Scotty Barnes, Boyles, they block shots. They don't need a shot. They need it. And the thing is, Sabonis gets every rebound, outlet. I mean, he's a perfect fit in Toronto.
And he drops dimes. He drops dimes.
He's the perfect fit for the lineup that they have.
Yeah, and the only thing that he doesn't replace on Podol is block shots.
Exactly. They don't need a big numbering center that blocks shots. They just don't. That's not who they need. So
no, because they've got a lineup that can do all that.
Yeah. So,
yeah. No, that's a good point. Freestyle, Trent?
Yeah. So I'm gonna mess up our episode a little bit, but our freestyle might be a little shorter, as in I have some phone calls that have been happening while I've been doing this for work. I still have a job, so unless
tell me before the show. Thanks. Don't tell me during the show. Anyways, go ahead.
No, they happened just now, like when you were talking.
Yeah, just tell them that you're finishing up.
Yeah. So, but yeah, again, Raptors, like you just said, in the East. I mean, they're game out of being in second seed in the East. I mean, they're going to be buyers. They're not selling. They think they can win. They're in the 8 to 10 best teams in the NBA right now.
Okay, to make this, because you got to go. Do you want to do the risers on the East and the risers on the West, and just leave it at that, and we can fill it in later next week?
Oh, whatever you like, if that's what you want.
No, that's fine. No, you got to go. I totally get it. No problem. Let's go. Let's talk about East and West. Top 5 teams. We're at 46 minutes. We'll finish at 10 minutes, and you can still get your stuff done. I totally appreciate that, and thank you for communicating that.
More people to subscribe, so then I don't have to work. Okay, get it together, people. Start subscribing. I need to make this. I need to get famous and not have to do what I'm doing. Okay?
Hey, Trent, just tell the people. Put pressure on the main community, man. You got 6,000 people there.
Yeah. I mean, again, the Knicks. Everybody's in the East again. It was, other than Detroit at 8-2. I mean, everybody was 6-4. Cleveland looked like they were made a little bit of a move. They were 7-3 here this week, but
they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
It's the top right now.
No, there's something wrong there.
What's scary is we're about halfway through almost, and to say the Pistons are the team to beat holy people, seriously. But does Jason Tatum come back? Do Boston make a move for a big, look at Sabonis?
Tatum's coming back, by the way.
Sabonis would be a great fit in Boston. So, are they going to look at it big? The Knicks, again, I don't think the Knicks can win the championship with the roster that they have. They're missing something. I
think Towns is going to be gone. Yeah, I think they're going after the Greek Freak, bro.
And then you'd have a little rebirth in Philly with Embiid going crazy. Well, it was great. He scores 28 in the first half and finishes with 36. Come on, dude. Come on. I'm expecting a 50-piece. Just to tail off. The guy can barely move up there. It's just ridiculous to watch. I feel bad for him.
I do too. I listen. I'm not laughing to mock the chap.
Dragging that leg, man.
Dude, it's not fun. But he's played 11 games in a row? Come on.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. They're having that guy in the middle makes them a contender, just because he is a massive human being, and obviously a very skilled basketball player. But he's dragging that one leg. It's unfortunate to watch. But
yeah,
Miami's still hanging in there. Orlando again. Both Orlando and Miami. You could just flip a coin for those two between the weeks. 1 week, one team's 7-2. The next week they're 5-5. The two of them just switch places in the standings constantly.
Sounds like some of my fantasy basketball teams.
I think Jalen Johnson you said about Quickly. Quickly was player of the week in the East. He had a crazy week this week.
Great week.
Unbelievable, man.
It only took a year and a half, but, great week.
So, Milwaukee, they're in trouble without Giannis. Charlotte actually been playing pretty good basketball lately.
Wow.
They're fun. Charlotte's fun to watch, though.
When they're healthy and all the players. I watched the game last night. It was very exciting. And I watched the last 3 games. Actually, they're playing really good basketball.
They get up and down the floor. They're trying to play fast pace, let's go.
Yeah, and they got a good synergy of team too, right?
They do. They seem to really enjoy playing.
They click each other. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Their games. It's funny that probably the first time we've ever talked positively about Charlotte.
I love watching the shows. I think my favorite team that does the game is Del Curry and Psycho, his partner. He's awesome, man. It's the most exciting. It's Trent. We could do that. We could do that stuff. Anyways.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like you already said, Brooklyn, Indiana, and Washington. Washington should just be embarrassed that I'm disappointed in Indiana, and not because of their record. I understand they lost Miles Turner. They have
they gave up on him.
They have a top 10 player in Halliburton at that guard position that's hurt. You're one game away from winning it all, and you're just going to dismantle this whole thing. It's just crazy to me. Yeah. But I mean, I don't run a team, so I just.
Well, they were almost. Look at their run last year.
I know
one game away from.
Yeah, they got hot too. They won a lot of crazy games.
They did. But they had a different team. They got rid of some key players.
So, but Washington, yeah, they're terrible.
Don't waste your time on Washington. The top 3 teams in the East right now. What do you think?
Yeah, top 3 right now. I mean,
Detroit,
Boston, and Toronto. And
okay.
Maybe Knicks.
Philly.
Maybe.
Now the Knicks. I say Philly's better than Knicks. Knicks they got some problems. I don't know what's going on.
I think it's Detroit, Boston, and Toronto right now.
Cool.
That's what the standings say.
What about the West, bro?
And then obviously OKC kind of again back to normal, 7-3. I think the Lakers were 7-3 here this last 10. No, 5-5. The Rockets, Denver. Okay, Denver. There you go. Let's give Denver some credit.
Oh man.
And they're like just winning games. I mean, that just shows you that what they did from last year to this year, adding depth. It just shows. And players playing more, like Peyton Watson all of a sudden showing up.
He's getting paid, man.
Jamal Murray having a better year. Bruce Brown was a great pickup if he had come off the bench. They just did a way better job. I know they have some injuries, but if they're fully healthy, man, honestly, if they're fully healthy in the playoffs,
they got a chance to win it all this year.
They're just as going to be hard to beat as OKC is.
I agree.
The real joke is there. I mean, the West is a gong show, right? The old meme of, and it's going to be like that this year again. The old meme of the playoffs, and they go, the NBA playoffs in the East, it shows a bunch of girls pillow fighting, and then it shows NBA playoffs in the West, and they show scenes from 300 of Sparta fighting because they're killing each other. Like it's
what a great movie, man.
The West is ridiculous.
It's slaughter. It's like a slaughter, really.
It's not even going to be. Some of these first round matchups in the West are not even going to be fair that a team's going to be out in the first round. Like that's because they've had such a good year. Like you're going to have 60 team wins up in the first round in the West. So I still like Houston. They're playing even better now.
Wow.
It seems like they're
shout out to KD, bro.
Yeah.
What he's doing is honestly one of the greatest 6'11" scorers I've ever seen. The only guy I can say, and I'm glad you mentioned him because I love him. I've loved Durant all my ever since I met you. What he's doing now at this stage after Achilles tendon and everything, he's the same size. So the key is to sustain, maintain, and retain quick interjection in the NBA. Don't get fat, stay in shape, and love to hoop. And KD, he puts his toque on, he gets up, and it's like, what's up? He goes, I love to hoop. Let's go. And it's that simple. And the only other player in the NBA, I was thinking about this. Can you name any other player really quick? Because I know you got to go. That is, Kevin. Who?
Yeah, just don't worry about it.
Bob McAdoo.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I actually think more because of the shooting motion. I'd almost think more like Alex English. The ball's really high. He shoots the ball from way
Alex
high.
is only 6'8", McAdoo 6'10".
I know.
But yeah, good one though. Good one.
Build everything. I mean.
Yeah, good one.
McAdoo's a thicker guy, right? But no,
McAdoo was thin as fucking rail, man. I'm serious.
We talked about Houston at the start of the season, going, give them time. Like we said, hey, they're not playing that great. But hey, give them some time to get this lineup together and the people that, with Durant there and that. And it seems like that's kind of coming around, like the way their bench plays together.
Totally.
They seem to be kind of rounded into, like they looked like they were going down the other night and all of a sudden they were up 10. Like
have you seen Şengün play the last few games? Since he came back from ankle? Demon. He's possessed. Oh my God. I didn't know he can get off the ground.
I know. It's pretty impressive.
Right? Oh. That dunk he put on beef stew?
Oh, I know.
Man.
The Lakers won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Luka's going off right now.
He's pissed off. Like people are dissing him and he's fucking pissed. Pardon my French, everyone. Sorry.
Dallas, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a gong show.
Minnesota's playing a lot better. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the beatdown on Golden State last night without
Wow.
Anthony Edwards.
Wow.
There's another frustrating guy. One game he's out, next game he's in. I don't think he can play back-to-backs like his ankle. I mean, it's just like you said. It's the buy-in from these guys. It's just not the same like it used to be when we were younger. And people can say, "Oh, you older guys just want to hate on the game." It's not hating.
Yeah, but Trent, he's making $45 million a year. I mean, does that mean anything? Does that make you a little softer, maybe?
It's not hating on the game. It's hating on the state of the game. It's the state of the game that I've disliked.
No, I agree. Such a good point, bro.
Right? I mean, people forget that, right? It's not.
Yeah.
I love basketball, but I hate the state of the NBA.
I agree.
And I've got people that don't barely watch at my wife's work that were like, "Yeah, it's not like it used to be," and they don't even watch it like I do, right? They notice it. So, Phoenix is a surprise to me. I thought Phoenix was going to have a down year after all they did. Dylan Brooks.
It's very surprising, bro.
You don't have to like
Dylan Brooks, Canadian. He's playing out of his mind.
The teams win. They play hard. He brings that mentality to teams. There's no
every day.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler getting hurt for Golden State.
Very sad.
Now Kuminga's hurt. I mean, it's
very sad again.
This guy can't. I mean,
can't catch a break. But you know what? Kuminga could have helped himself a long time ago, and he didn't.
I agree. Yep, I agree totally. I mean, I think, and then the team that we talked about. First off, in the top of the standings, same thing as the Nuggets. Is good on the Spurs, man. Look at the games they won without Wemby, right?
Incredible.
And stuff. What's his name that they picked up from Boston? Was just such a
Luke Cornett has been absolutely instrumental.
What a great pickup. Like, he's not a guy that you're going to clap.
And Nemes, the big kid out of Portugal. I mean, seriously, they really did. The GM, once again, he's brilliant, and the coach has done an amazing job with what they have. Great point, Trent.
Guard play they have, right? They have Vassell, Harper Jr., Darian Fox, and then Julian Champagne, the older brother, right? In Washington. He's just
and Vassell is back.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think Vassell takes over the starting spot from Champagne.
I'd keep Champagne there, and they're looking to trade. They're looking to trade Sheldon, and they're looking to trade. They're looking to move the kid with always the red hair, orange hair, green hair, whatever. And they're looking to do a trade. They're going to get rid of 3 guys in the back, and they're going to get someone that's going to.
Harrison Barnes, you got their little pro. You got your professional basketball player in Harrison Barnes there, right? That's pretty good.
Totally. He's sober, doesn't party. He's the same dude he's been when he walked in the league. I love him. Yeah, good point.
Same dude in college, for God's sake.
Same person his entire life. And that's what you like about players. To be able to find players like that, it's hard to find, bro.
Consistency, man. The other team, though, that we talked about before, and I just scooped somebody off of waivers, but that's Portland. They're another fun team to watch. I enjoy it. Their games are fun to watch. They got a Canadian.
Yeah.
They're using Klington. Klington, how he's playing, is what I was envisioning for Edie, honestly. I was hoping that Edie was going to.
I thought Kling was a stiff, but he is really coming to his own.
He's a nice player, man.
Yeah.
But I was hoping how he's playing is kind of what Edie was going to kind of translate.
Yeah, no, it didn't quite work. Well, Edie's ankle injuries, when you're 340 pounds at 7'4", man, ankles, it's a career destroyer. Hopefully not with him, but I agree with you on Portland, and I think with Holiday back and what Thiago Splitter's done, man, they're nice. And Denny Avia has been injured, but man, they're a tough team.
They got the Clippers at 82 in the last 10. I mean,
oldest team in the history of the NBA.
Kawhi's playing. When Kawhi, Harden, and Zubac are playing or in the lineup, you can
scary.
Put the other two to be whoever they want.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Harden hasn't lost a step. I mean, Kawhi, that he's been playing the amount of games he's played, he looks fantastic. He looks like Kawhi I've watched.
You know, and the players they picked up, they're helping, right?
Yeah, and then, I mean, Dallas, a bit of a disappointment, but let's see what happens when Kyrie comes back. Memphis,
if he comes back.
We've already talked about Memphis, Utah, Sacramento, and New Orleans. I mean, there's 4 teams that, outside of Utah, those other 3 are moving players. There's going to be players being traded from those teams.
Totally. Totally.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sacramento move Zach LaVine either. To try to get
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so because I picked him up. Someone dropped him.
You want the Lakers so bad.
Well, actually, I don't think the Lakers is the right team for him, but I would like to find him on a team that really needs him and he can get back up to 25, 26, 27 a game, because that's the type of player he is. Yeah. Right? He can still play, he can shoot, he's athletic, he's still young, he's a good teammate. His injuries seem to be past him, but in the meantime, Trent, what a wonderful episode, and everything that we went through today was a bit challenging technical-wise, and that's not an excuse. Yeah. That's just about creators and what we go through here at the Canadian Bro Show, but I'm so happy to get this through and really happy that Trent and I were able to do this episode. It's episode 45, the second season of At the Canadian Bro Show podcast, And my name is Paul Bale, and I'm the founder and host of the Canadian Bro Show. And my the handsome, and listen to that voice, if you can just listen to that. The handsome chap to my left and your right is Mr. Trent Rowley. And we are the Hoopjunkies from the Canadian Bro Show podcast. And all we do is talk about hoops and basketball. And thank you for joining us. And we're so excited to be able to be in the second season of episode 45. Before I go, I just want to say, for those that are interested in expansion of the show, I have a new premiere episode that I'm going to be putting out. I'm filming later today, actually, in 3 hours. With my old teammate from the Doncaster Panthers in the British Basketball League, Mr. Justin Jones, a legend in Alberta, another fantastic athlete and basketball player from Alberta like Trent and so many others. And we're going to be interviewing him for the very first episode, the premiere episode of How to Be a Professional Basketball Player at the Canadian Bro Show. All basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley, and Mr. Justin Jones I haven't seen him. We played together last time I saw him, Trent. We played together in the Doncaster Panthers in 1994-95. Dude, that's like 32 years ago? That's insane, man.
Enjoy your conversation tonight.
I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm very excited. I'm sure he is as well. To interview another Canadian, and that series is going to be all of my old teammates and coaches. But in the meantime, Trent's got to go. Thanks, Trent, for being patient, everybody.
Thank you.
And we're going to shut down the show. Trent, I'm going to take you off the show so you can go. And I'll hey, we'll see you next time. Have a good night, And tell whoever, if it's work, tell them it's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. I'm doing that. I got just lots of stuff on the go.
I know you do, bro. Love you, and thanks very much. Great episode.
Push the subscribe button, people. I need to get a different job. Thank you.
Listen to Trent. Hit that subscribe button, like, share. In the meantime, it's kind of cool to be able to do this show, but before I go, I just want to say I'm going to leave in like 8 seconds. And the back poster is one of our posters from the London Towers. I briefly mentioned it. And we won everything in my last professional year, about 27 years ago, I guess now. And we were the London Towers of the British Basketball League in 1998-99. You see some rock stars in that photo. Thank you again for joining us. And if you enjoy this show, it's free content, and you think that you could be a part of our future episodes, please subscribe, like, and share. In the meantime, be kind out there, everyone. It's Paul Bale, founder and host of the Canadian Bro Show. Thank you kindly.